Yeah, it's also being humbled in a way.
Yeah.
I think that really just grounds anybody. I mean, you may think you're the cock of the walk and be all this and that, but when life just punches you in the nose and you lose everything, it's kind of like this. It's a quoting Fight Club again. You know, you don't like things you own end up owning you, and when you lose everything, you're at this clarity. You're like reset to zero. So there is this renewal, this rebirth that comes about, and there's that no fear. There's this extra confidence, and you find out you really don't need a lot to be happy. As long as you're happy internally with yourself and you're at peace, that's really the all we need. And I know we're kind of jumping here, but we're jumping to the dating piece. But a lot of people do ask me that, and it's funny because I talk about divorce all the time. You know, we both do, and I tend to forget that there's people who are about to start the process and they want to hear our stories and hear our advice and all that. And one of the questions that does come up all the time is, when should I start dating? And I'm pretty sure you would agree with me when I say this. That should be the last damn thing on your mind.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about getting divorced, and I'm talking about you haven't even told the wife, your husband, and you haven't even started the paperwork and you're thinking about that, you're getting way ahead of yourself, because there's an emotional ride coming about and you need to get your priorities straight. The first things first is contact a lawyer.
And, okay, so where's the origin of that? When a guy comes to you and says, so tell me about dating and, after divorce. You're like, dude, you just decided yesterday that you're going to do this divorce thing, or you just heard from your wife yesterday, which is, statistically more often than not, it's the wife saying, I'm done with this.
Right.
So he hears that and he comes to you and says, so tell me, what's dating after divorce like? And you're right, dude, you got a lot of other shit you need to worry about right now. Logistically, you have a lot of stuff to worry about. So, but you got to ask yourself, what's the origin of that? What's going on in that guy's head to think that? And these guys will try to sell you on the fact, like, you don't understand, dude. For the last so many years, I've basically been living alone. We haven't done anything in the bedroom. We haven't had any kind of intimacy emotionally or anything. So I've been basically living as this, sad creature, just holed up in my home with this woman who wants nothing to do with me. Finally, we're splitting up. I'm going to live, damn it. And I said, yeah, I get it, but you're not in a mental state. Whether you know it or not, you're going through somewhat of a trauma, and people that go through somewhat of a trauma do stupid shit and make bad decisions. And you're going to end up with your ex-wife all over again. Trust me. Every guy that's been through that just nods and goes, yeah, you're right. I could think of a lot of instances like that where I just shake my head going, man, there's a certain type I have that I just end up with. Well, you got to kind of figure out why that is. If your wife was a drug addicted, cheating woman, whatever, and then you end up dating some woman and you end up like, wow, she's got a drug problem and she's sleeping around. Yeah, dude, you got a type. Maybe you need to figure out what's going on there before and also if you have kids, you're trying to possibly bring weirdos into your life and into the life of your children. Because you're in this traumatized state, you're more apt to attract these weirdos, for lack of a better term, broken, damaged people into your world, and you're not emotionally strong. And another way of looking at this is, when guys are like, I know you often, by the way, that little speech I give to everybody, and probably 90% of the guys don't listen to me because they're just
90%, really?
Because they're just so desperate and they're just so horny, and and they just want to get out there. And some of them will make the case of, okay, I met a chick. It's like, wow, it's been a whopping month since you're divorced. You've already met somebody. Yeah, but I'm telling you, she's different. I think I lucked out. I'm looking for red flags and I can't find any. Well, you've only known the woman for a short amount of time. Give it a while. But I often tell the men, really, no red flags, huh? So you're trying to tell me you went to this woman and said, I'm freshly divorced as of last month. I went through all this drama. I'm still trying to get on my feet and figure out the kids and the money, and I'm broke and everything else. And you went to this woman, and this woman said, sounds great. I'm your girlfriend now. That's a red flag in itself. Any kind of mentally balanced woman would say, whoa, get back with me in a year when you get your,
when you heal, when you get
your feet under you and you heal and all that stuff. If you want to go out for coffee or whatever, great. You want to chat every now and then, but as far as a dating thing, I can't commit to somebody who's in the middle of all this. And trust me, dude, you'll understand a year from now, and you'll thank me for this later. But instead, the woman's like, yes, I'm your girlfriend. Let me move in, or whatever craziness it may be. That shows you that, you did it again.
Yeah.
You got with one who probably shouldn't be out there herself in the day.
Very true. And also, I think you said there's this horniness. They want to get out there and just start doing whatever. I also feel And I kind of can speak to this myself. There's this fear because for the majority of your life, maybe 10, 15 years, however long you've been married, you've been going to bed with somebody in your bed next to you. There's this body there, and you're used to living with somebody. You've never been alone, and they're terrified to be alone, and they're not used to it. So they're going to jump. Yeah, I know. And again, I can relate to that, but I'm glad I chose not to get into a relationship at the beginning of my divorce because it allowed me to find myself, my identity. And we'll go to that in a bit. But yeah, I think there's this fear because that's all you've ever known. Maybe you were high school sweethearts, got married, got apartments, and again, that's all you've known. But I think fear is a driving factor as well because they need that. They need that substitute. They need that replacement so they can feel at home or at peace.
Yeah, they're conditioned.
Yeah,
they're conditioned to have another human being there. When that human being's gone, I always say it's like a limb has been cut from their body, and I need to go replace the limb real quick. I just something's drastically missing here, and it almost sounds like we're talking about a drug addict, and we are. They're
in a way, yeah.
It's the same brain chemicals and stuff are all involved. I'm going through withdrawal right now, and this really sucks. And I'm going through the shakes and I feel ill and I feel this and I feel that and I'm stressed and I'm losing weight and it's just terrible. My blood pressure, everything is going through the roof. And what better way to fix all this than just get a new drug in the door and just say, now I'm back to like, no, you need to experience hell. You need to experience what it's like on your own. Strong, secure people. Basically, the theme of people that are strong and secure in relationships is I thrive and I love being in a relationship with somebody that I click with. It's great. It's wonderful. It's the most amazing thing on earth. But if something happens on my own, that's okay. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah. I have plenty of stuff in my world to keep me busy. I have plenty of love for myself and it's not a huge deal. I'm fine. If you were to tell me the next 5 years you're alone, I'm like, sucks. But hey, I have plenty of stuff to keep me busy and stuff. But those men in that state of mind are like, no, I need to replace this person like now. And it's not a good place to be in.
It really isn't because you're just going to end up in the same situation that you were in before. And you're really not thinking clearly. You're just kind of just going with emotions. But yeah, I've known a few women who were like drop dead gorgeous and they've never been single ever since high school. They're so pretty. As soon as they're available, somebody jumps in and tries to court them. So they've never been single their entire lives. And a few men I've known that they get married right away. And again, they say, well, that's the type of guy I am. I just love to be married. I love being with somebody. I'm like, I can understand that. But at the same time, are you really in a healthy state? I mean, not knowing who you are and having that identity is I think a major problem to why people get divorced. Now, going back to, I guess, the topic of today's show, everybody, is should I get divorced? What are the reasons why you should get divorced? And I want to kind of pivot over to that conversation. So